Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy. I'm not going to wait for the intro this time. Last time we left off, we convicted a detective of smuggling and murder. This time we're going to get to the final case of the game. All of our questions that were left over will finally be revealed. All the questions in the description below will finally have an answer, according to my friend. And now, without further delay, let's begin Episode 4, Turnabout Succession. And also, I should mention that today I'm going to be cutting myself off at the halfway point. There are reasons behind this that I don't want to get into detail. For now, let's start. There's no way I'm going to finish this case in 4 hours. Welcome to Turnabout Succession. So I should say, and that is the whole truth of this case. Mason systems. What the fuck is this? Beep. Oh, shit! In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. It's time. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Hello, Kristoph. So, I'm going to be upfront with you all. I know the outcome of this case. It is the first thing I got spoiled on for this game. I don't know basically anything else about it. I know the defendant's name, what she looks like, the killer's name, and the final breakdown. Other than that, completely blind. This is going to be fun.
You know the breakdown. God damn it.
What? Yeah, I know what the breakdown looks like, but I've never experienced it before, so this is going to be fun. Anyways, let me get into my voice here. October 7th, 10:37 a.m. Right to Anything Agency.
Hey, Apollo, look, on TV! Look!
Yeah, kind of busy.
Whoa, look at that! He's the last Grammarier, all right? Amazing! Apollo, you should be watching this!
Ow, 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 what? I was writing about our last case in my journal.
Why aren't you supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals? And why now? That case was 3 months ago!
Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of this moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lamiror disappeared.
That's right, Uncle Valen did that illusion too! But you're missing him on TV right now.
I was just getting to the good parts. Suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Gavineers concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary Troupe Grammarier is performing for the first time in 7 years.
That's going to be great! I'm so there! You and Dad are coming too, right?
The legendary Grammariers. If Trucy's real father were still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles.
I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo.
Ah, you are here. Working hard or hardly working? Hey, how have you been?
Hi there, stranger.
Not exactly the kind of grinning I want to hear over my own kid. Oh, he has been gone a long time. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you.
Yay, pudding! I love pudding. Oh, it's farm fresh. And not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself.
Well, I'm beat. Yes, Moss, I didn't know who it was gonna be who walked in the door. The game's not exactly good at giving me hints on that.
That's right, Dad. You're on a top secret mission. You gotta take it easy with the secrets, you know.
All right, you are. So, you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyway. Huh? What? With me?
Ooh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission, too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. A spy.
Can I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me, you've heard of the juris system, yeah?
The juris system?
That's right, the new legal system everyone's talking about.
Have you heard of it, Apollo?
Huh? Maybe? Yeah, the whole big thing about this right now, let's see, Phoenix learned a lot of tricks in the 7 years. Voice impression was, I didn't know, but voice impression was one of them. Boy, like I said, I didn't know who it was that was walking in the door. For all I know, it was Clavier. Oh, right. I thought I pressed that button. There. Anyways, before I forget, I should turn up your volume. Hold on. Say hi to everyone, Doom.
Stays with our friends are in vacation, so there'll be more treats here.
Well, say hi to everybody, Doom.
Oh, YouTube.
All right.
Almost.
So, let's see. Where was I? Ah, yes. It could have been Clavier who came in through that door, Moss. I had no idea. But yeah, one of the big things about this case is that they're trying to introduce a new legal system. That's gonna be fun. Maybe? Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. The juris system, huh? Well, let's ask about it.
So, Dad, what's this juris system thing?
Well, Trucy, do you know what a jury is? Music is a tad bit louder than Doom. I think I fixed that. Doom, can you say something?
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's the right button. Let's see. There, that should do.
I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to decide if their guy's innocent or guilty? You know, Apollo?
Only from TV. It's 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling it the new system. The juris system.
No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor.
Not quite that harsh. The jurists cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. Ah, and there will only be 6 of them under the current proposal, right?
Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo.
Their findings will directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now that they don't have to have decisive evidence.
I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. Starring Dr. Wright.
Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy, and Mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Mascot? Hey, wait a minute!
Hey, this is when we're the mascots.
So, what's this secret mission? The juris system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo.
Too true. Everyone's got an opinion. They just talk and nothing gets decided. Kinda like you, Apollo.
I'm not that bad. I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will.
I don't like tests.
We'll take a case as simple. We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be the chair of the Jurist Systems Simulated Court Committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidate, even the judge in the courtroom.
Wow, it's like you have a real job.
I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. Trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. Trial simulation, that is.
Simulation, huh? Sounds interesting.
So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it's the first run-through of a new system, I wanted something simple.
Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious.
True. The case of the murder. That's not simple at all, Phoenix!
By simple,
I mean-
did you mean that the defendant is...
Guilty. Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course.
What? You can't drop this on me!
Recall that I said it had something to do with you.
Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway, no sweat.
Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious in the worst case scenario.
You mean the verdict's for real? That's not a test trial, that's a real trial.
All the forms have been filled. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. Trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule.
Why am I only hearing about this now, Phoenix?
Yeah, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Eh? Something that happened last night. Let's ask about Valent Garmarier.
Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission and all, but what about this? The Trip Garmarier's Grand Magic Show.
Huh? Oh, right. The card tricks.
They're not card tricks. They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse.
So what? That's 3 whole days from now.
That's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go. Let's go today. Let's say hi to Uncle Valent.
Have fun.
What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing.
Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. We'll hear all about it tomorrow, regardless. Don't trust that smile. He knows something he's not telling me.
Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum.
I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Garmarier. That reminds me.
What's this? Is that still Captain Garmarier's seal?
Consider it a birthday present, Trucy.
Thanks, it's great. But today isn't my birthday.
Oh, good point. What day is today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. And it's a Recycle Your Plastics present. What? There it goes.
It's so plastic.
I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way.
So what is it? Can I open it?
No.
Huh?
You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then.
No more yippee. Oh, why didn't you just hold on to it until then?
Because that would be the logical thing to do. And Phoenix Wright is anything but that. An envelope about the Garmariers, huh? Anyways, the simulation you're talking about. Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do! I'm going to be defending! If all goes well, then yes, of course, this is just a test. We wanted everyone to start without preconception. A blank slate, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyways? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose I can give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good! That's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo. If I'm in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility, for good or for bad. Just do what you can. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there.
But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved.
Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk.
Well, time's wasting.
Don't forget to talk to Charlie the Plant. The plant. It intrigues you, doesn't it? Not really. It's just the only thing in here that doesn't have some secret function. No secrets. Lots of memories. And a name, too. Want to hear it? Not really. Name is Charlie. You were curious. Really, I wasn't. I guess I missed my opportunity. Looks like I was supposed to check him every single time I came back. Oh well. To the detention center! October 7th, detention center visitors room. That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 minutes!
Maybe I should complain? I'm sure that the guard has better things to do than stand there and pretending he doesn't see us.
You know the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way.
Like shouting, "Oh, waiter!" and they're standing right behind you. Oh, guard! Is our client going to be much longer?
What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet?
Huh?
Where'd you come from? Well, anyway, please have a seat. Well, I muted your Discord audio because there's a lot of noise. I know.
I'm nervous, Apollo.
It's the silence. It builds suspense. Why don't you do something, Chrissy? You're a magician, aren't you?
That's right, okay.
That's your hat! And she painted. She passed out. This magic underwear might have been a better bet.
That's magic, Apollo.
Maybe. Anyways, hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate. And Apollo's fallen hard.
I can tell you mine if you like, Apollo.
No, never mind. I just got carried away there. I seem destined to get difficult client, it seems. So what's your name? Oh, right. I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice.
And I'm Trucy Wright.
I know. This is getting nowhere fast. Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately?
Well, the other day, this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions.
Later, Trucy. Later. I think I need to ask my directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. I think I understand despair a little better now.
You did good, Apollo.
No, you didn't.
Look, she's doing her nails.
What? Are nails more important than defense? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy. Okay, so either our client is mute or...
Excuse me. Could you read this?
Sure. You're like a teenager on a first date. This is the letter that was passed from desk to desk at school.
Stop looking so wistful and read it!
It is a business card with a name and address. The name is Vera Misham. The address is for Drew Studio. you're giving me this card because... Well, looks like we're finished here.
I wonder if Drew's studio is the scene of the crime.
Let's go find out. Oh, by the way, before I forget, Apollo! Ow. October 7th, Drew's studio. Oh shit, there is a body here. Oh, this looks like a studio.
It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around? The tape on the ground there is a bit jarring.
Yeah. Just let me know when a good place to stop is, man. Like, point it out to me. Yeah, it looks like we found our crime scene.
Apollo, look at all those paintings!
Hey, don't touch those.
It's okay, I'm just looking.
Those look great.
Huh? Apollo, look at this one.
Looks half finished. You can see the rough sketch underneath.
But that's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all.
Yeah, good point. That is odd. Did someone paint over them?
All the paintings have a really different... All the paintings would have a really different style, too.
Ah, I thought I might find you two here.
Emma! No, long time no see.
Oh?
Seems like I ran into you far too often. Oh, but I know why you're here, too.
You know about the trial simulation tomorrow?
I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh?
You don't even know what the case is about.
Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Mr. Drew Masham. Masham? His daughter was put under arrest.
Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center.
It was funny, though. She seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who would commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning. That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning is a common way to get the job done with a murderer as a woman. Poisoning? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here with my snackoos.
We can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around. Which means we better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. So that means we can't talk to Emma. Or anybody else, basically. Which is dumb.
Eep, Apollo! That's where the body was!
That's the spot where Mr. Drew Masham passed away. He put the coffee mug to his lips the next moment. There's quite a bit of paint on the ground. Is that a half-painted painting there?
He must have been working on that right up to the moment he died. Wow, a true artist to the end!
Or maybe he started it a year ago and was procrastinating. A coffee cup, you say?
That's the victim's coffee mug. Ah, so the poison wasn't here. This is my first time seeing a real poisoned mug of coffee.
I would hope so.
Poisoned coffee? Not exactly, actually.
What do you mean?
No traces of poison were found in the coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself. I'm officially not on your side, after all. I imagine this coffee cup was for guests to use. Guests?
Did the police already analyze this cup too?
Not a trace of poison was found on that one.
I thought it was after Drew Masham alone.
Hey! There's a painting hidden back here.
Hey, you're right.
What if it's embarrassing somehow? He didn't want anyone to see it.
Certainly seem pleased by the possibility. Let's see what...
Huh? It's so normal.
It's hardly something to get mad about. Wait a minute. Huh?
What is it, Apollo?
Well, doesn't this painting look like... Never mind.
Huh?
Better get a professional opinion on this.
I wouldn't mind taking a closer look at those paintings. I thick as love oils. You know how they're so thick? Is that the word?
These paints are all dry. I'm just surprised at how different these all are.
Yeah. What's going on with this half-finished one?
It's been a work in progress. You can still see the rough sketch below.
That's what's so weird. The sketch part doesn't really match with the finished frame.
I noticed. That is weird. What's in the box?
That letterbox looks funny sitting there inside of a room like this.
Take a look. Empty.
The other half of that letterbox is actually connected to the outside of the studio. Mr. Masham will put his letters in there, and the postman took them away. Impressive that someone still writes letters in this day and age. Or wrote it, rather. What the hell? Why do you have... What is this stuff? What is all this equipment here for? Doesn't look very artistic, really. He had everything from a lathe to a laser cutter. Looks like he was ready to work on metals and wood, too. Though his equipment's a bit old, to tell the truth.
Why would a painter need all this?
In the dust, I'd say he hasn't used this stuff for years.
This part doesn't fit with the rest of the studio.
Oh, you think I can borrow this? I only cut a quarter in half to make a trick coin.
This is a crime scene, Trucy.
But these cost like $50 at the magic shop. Is this desk for painting, Apollo? That would be a drafting table. Drafting? Basically, it's a tool for making precise diagrams. Wow, painting is harder than I thought.
Why would a painter need a drafting table? Is he an architect as well? And a microscope, no less. Let's take a closer look at this desk here. Is this a journal?
Wow, talk about a clue. Let's read it. What is it, Apollo?
He didn't write the name of the killer, did he? It's new. He didn't write a single line.
Ah, you had me going for a minute. Hey, Apollo, what's this feather thingy?
Isn't that a pen? Like an old-fashioned quill pen?
It doesn't have a pointy end. That was most likely for sweeping dirt and stuff off the desk. Wow, you sure know a lot, Emma. Bold and scientific. That's my motto.
Exactly what about that was bold or scientific? Also, you're getting very good at mimicking us. Stop it.
Ooh, cute. Look at the tiny frame, Apollo.
Tiny is right. That thing's barely 2 inches high. What picture would fit that?
None, apparently. It's empty. There's no glass in it either. What's it doing sitting on the desk? This is a lesson for us all. Be sure to check the size when you want to buy frames.
So this is Drew Masham.
And this little girl must be Vera. Yes, they took that some years ago. They look close. A happy little family.
Until he arrested his daughter.
Uh-huh. Look, I was personally against that, okay? You didn't just seem very suspicious, scientifically speaking.
Uh-huh, right.
Something about that way his figure is posed. I've seen that pose before. It's you, Apollo. See, you're making one of your flamboyant gestures.
Please, I'm a professional.
I wonder why it's posed like that.
This envelope has been opened and resealed.
Oh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts and it opens. Cool, huh?
Whoever did this wasn't so delicate.
You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh? The postmark on this letter is from 7 years ago.
Why would someone open a letter and seal it again? I better hang on to this one.
Look at all these paints, Apollo. There's so many. It's got like 20 kinds of red. We could repaint your suit, Apollo.
Now,
How about this shade of green?
that'll be enough of that, thank you.
So, this, Drew Macham was some kind of artist?
Apparently, he did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear.
He had a lot of female fans, too, for what it's worth. Oh? Well, I guess his stuff is kind of pretty. An oil painting over there, for instance.
Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. So, it was a standalone painting for something?
Is that what she means? He was an odd bird, Masham. He hadn't shown his face to anyone until the end. What do you mean, to anyone?
He was always locked up in here in his studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through the letters he put in the mailbox over there. Letters? People still write letters?
What do you mean, Apollo?
I mean, when was the last time you wrote a real letter? Not a Christmas card, an actual letter. Most people use email and stuff these days.
Not Mr. Masham. He couldn't stand technology, it seems. He did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know? In any case, the only person allowed in here besides him was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer?
The suspect, please.
We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Mr. Masham's and Vera's, basically. Basically? Actually, last night, Mr. Masham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. His first interview ever?
Can you tell us a bit more about what happened the night of the murder? So, this woman, Vera, is Mr. Masham's daughter, right?
Yep, a real sickly girl. Ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. She did give off kind of a withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die if they took her outside.
That does sound like a scene.
In the end, she agreed to leave as she was allowed her good luck charm for company. Her good luck charm? Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside.
Why can't I ever get a normal client?
But why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad?
Don't look at me. So, about the poison. It was found in his coffee, right?
No, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean?
I mean, see for yourself, I think.
Like I said, last night was the first time someone from outside came into the studio. These mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles.
And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview.
At around 9 p.m. every night, Vera always made him a cup of coffee. Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill.
And
Died? She poisoned him on the night of his interview? Wouldn't the reporter see?
he wasn't near Mr. Masham when she brought the father the coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back of the room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone's as suspicious, it's this reporter.
But the reporter never got near Mr. Masham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that.
Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter. That doesn't make sense at all for a poison. When you get poisoned, you don't drop dead on the spot. It takes time. Some poisons can last for days. I've never heard of a poison that kills in less than 10 minutes. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong here. There may be one that kills in 10 minutes tops, but never like 5 minutes like what's happened here. Not unless it's an acid. And, you know, if it were an acid, it would be in the coffee cup. You know what? Hold on. Speaking of which, let's have a look at that coffee cup.
Hey, look there! That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about.
Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably... I knew it. The poison isn't in the coffee. That's probably the poison. And if I had to guess, that was on his... That mark is from when he drank the coffee, coming from his lips. The coffee has nothing to do with this. I bet Emma could help us out here.
Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo.
What are you two whispering about? Well, I was thinking. I mean, why is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene? What is it we always do scientifically?
Ah, you know me too well. Okay.
Okay, meaning we can get, scientific now?
Oh, I suppose. Just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out.
Okay. In that case, I have 2 requests. This one. Oh, Emma, I was wondering about this painting here.
That one? What about it?
What about it?
Yeah, what about it, Apollo?
Take a closer look at it. Both of you. Now, look at this one. This is the 3rd painting he was working on.
Hey, they're the same! I was hoping you wouldn't find that. You're right, though. Rumashan was copying this painting. Wow, it's pretty good!
Copying a painting? What for? Emma, about this mug. Pale blue residue on the rim.
Huh? Well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain.
I'm pretty sure this isn't actually blue, Emma.
Right. Okay, you got me. That's left over for my testing spray. Forensic science? I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So what kind of scientific stuff are you up to?
This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So, the poison that killed the victim is on this mug?
That's right. See? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing.
Certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma would be willing to help us out a bit more.
You should try buttering her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere.
Certainly worth talking to her about it a bit more. About poison analysis.
I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for atroquinine. Huh? Atroquinine, the deadly poison found in the autopsy.
Uh-oh. I know that spark in her eyes. Getting excited. I best tread lightly.
It's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show.
This is what I was talking about!
Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown...
That's fine, really. We don't need to know all the gory details.
I think I get it. You just spray this stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try too, Emma. Pretty please.
You don't have to ask twice. I already use it on everything suspicious, of course.
Yay! Let's give it a whirl, Apollo.
Ow! Why? My eyes, they burn! What are you doing?
I was just seeing if I got a reaction off of you.
How's this for a reaction? Never do that again! I'm not poisonous!
Tell that to those hapless witnesses on the stand.
Let's just get down to checking for real poison, shall we? Ow! Hi, Dynamic Tempo. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. This is the final case of the game. Case number 4. Right now, I'm using this detection agent all over the place to see if I can find something important. It really is only on the coffee cup, isn't it? And even then... Wait, I'm not getting a reaction off the coffee cup. What?
Too bad. No reaction there.
Sure, Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a second.
What is it, Apollo?
You spray that little desk over there?
I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know.
Let's check it out, just to be sure. Yep, I saw you add me on Discord. Thank you. There's traces of poison on the inside of the tiny picture frame? Okay.
A reaction, Apollo? Ah! Where? Where? On the inside of that cute little tiny frame, look! Well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I don't do work magic.
Never mind that I was the one who found it. 2 inches by 2 inches. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? Looks like we found the only other piece that was poisoned in any case. Looks like you had to take this back part off first to get the photo inside.
It had to be a really small photo to fit in there.
True. Pale blue stain. Why would there be poison on something like this?
Oh, there's one obvious reason. Whoever put poison in the coffee must have been on here. Look!
It's not very obvious, Trucy. It also doesn't make sense. If you're trying to rub poison onto something, you don't leave perfectly straight lines. I don't get it. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. So why was he copying the painting? Emma, about this.
Oh, that! Yeah. Boy, that's a bright red envelope.
Sure is jumpy.
Someone opened this, didn't they?
My lips are sealed. Your lips are sealed? That's a first. You mean you know what's inside the envelope?
Sure. I read it after all. Oh, you mean you were the one who ripped this open?
Huh. Please. I would have steamed it open. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently.
I know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. Weapon?
Yes, the use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on.
You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors.
Never heard that one, but it's good advice. Try talking to her some more. About that envelope we found, I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentioning.
You want to know about my tool, do you? It's called an X-ray analyzer. X-ray? Like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right. At least, that's what I call it. Huh?
It has a real name, but it's much more complicated than the X-ray spectralization. Something...
How am I supposed to remember all that? So basically, it lets you see inside things like envelopes?
That's right. You're sharp, Trucy. It's a bit more complicated than that. In practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works scientifically.
Can I try it out, Emma, please?
Oh, I suppose. Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself.
All right, let's give this a spin, Apollo.
Hey, yeah! What are you doing?
I was just seeing if I could see through your hair. But it's like lead.
Point that thing at me anymore and it might fall out.
And I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it.
Let's just get down to business, shall we?
Right. Let's test it on a sample first. It just so happens that I have a lottery ticket here.
Scanning. Scanning.
You set the sample in the device like so.
I don't see anything.
Patience. There's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope. Layer view? You got it set to display the outside of the envelope now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there with the buttons for me, would you?
I see.
That's right. That's how you choose the depth you want to scan. Hey, I got something! See, that's how you can read letters on the tip inside. Cool, huh?
Except, I can't read them.
Just turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see the paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Oh, really? The X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only 0.05 microns.
0.05 microns. To give you an example of how small a micron is. Hold on, Google. A micron is 1/1000th of a millimeter. A human hair is about 70 microns across. So this beam is... Hold on. I don't know. It's incredibly tiny, though. Someone else can do the math if they like.
It breaks cards down into thin layers so that they can only show what's written on that layer.
I'm not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything?
That's why we go on to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit if you would. Rubbing? Like going over the image with this while holding this? There. That fixes the image on the screen. Now turn the dial again, just a little. Good. Now you can run this image to fix it too. Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we got the whole thing. Exactly. Not bad.
Womp womp. Looks like you lost, Emma.
Okay, let's print this one out.
Womp womp. You lose.
Does this mean I have to buy another one to win? Well, it's Emma's ticket. Let's buy her another one. It's okay, there's no need. But see, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? Let's try it out on the real thing, shall we?
Scanning.
Dear Mr. Drew Masham, I deposited $100,000 in designated account. Please send a receipt once you've confirmed the transfer. Okay, let's print this one out. Someone deposited $100,000 into Mr. Masham's account? These paintings must be really valuable. There's another page in there. Care to take a look? You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you might as well read it all. Here goes with the second page, then. Sign the papers and send the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one? Is this a threat? So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings.
Well, the secrecy, though. And
what?
why was this letter the only one in here? It's 7 years old, right?
Maybe it had some special significance to him? Well, Emma? Well, indeed.
She knows something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime?
I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. I'll never forget that face. What was his name? Oh, right. Rushel. Rushel? He's after a scoop to sell to the papers.
The reporter comes to interview with a painter. His first interview ever. And that night he's killed. Does that seem strange to you?
Really strange. It does raise a few questions.
I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could.
Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician.
Magician? Well, if it's not true, see, that only leaves one other person.
It wasn't Valiant Grammary by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear.
So he's out interviewing Valiant Grammarier. Looks like I'll be heading out to the Coliseum again sooner than I thought.
Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want.
Hey, I got a question. Can we use your little x-ray thing?
Emma,
About this painting.
oh, that? Quite good, isn't it?
That's not what I wanted to ask you about.
You want to examine it, is that it? I'd be happy to let you if you had a good reason. But without that, sorry.
Yeah, she wants us to do a little footwork on our own first. Oh, Emma, I was wondering about this painting here. Well, it's a good thing I have you muted on the stream. The fuck is this? Spark Rushel.
I guess you gotta have a good business card if you want to work freelance.
Really? What's this? A camera lens finder? Do reporters take
photos too?
I guess if he's a freelance, he'd have to.
You should try being a prosecutor and a defense attorney. You'd always win.
Why don't I become a rock star too while I'm at it? $70?
Are you ready, Apollo?
Ready? For what?
For what? For the true Grand Grand Magic Show!
It's not like I'm getting up on stage or anything.
What are you talking about, Apollo? You can't enjoy magic if you're not part of what's going on stage. I'll lend you my spare costume if you need one.
Huh? You mean I can't go in this?
No.
Get more straightforward than that. Well, guess we gotta move out. The Coliseum. That's our only lead. October 7th, Sunshine Coliseum. Yeah, $70, Moss, and I guarantee you that's with a discount because this thing's gonna be sold out.
Woohoo! This is it, Apollo. The place where magic and dreams converge and come true.
Just a while ago, it was a place where murder and nightmares converged.
Let's go say hi to Uncle Valent.
What about the cave? I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that's Zach. That's Grammaire. So,
Only a performer laughs like that.
the young Miss Trucy, baby. How often I hope we meet again, only to tell myself it was just an impossible dream.
Uncle Valent, how's it going? Glad to see you too.
Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? You've come to give me some flowers. Do it after the show, I beg you.
Actually, we came to visit you and wish you good luck. And congratulations on your big magic show.
Oh, but it is I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone is as lucky as to witness miracles such as the ones I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing. You get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as magnificent illusions are reborn. Yeah, baby. Here on stage by my hand.
Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Grammaire miracle is back after a 7-year absence?
Oh, Miss Trucy, I must apologize. This show and this honor, it should have been his.
Man.
My co-magician in training, Jacques Grammaire. That terrible thing had...
Okay.
Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then I, Valent Grammaire, would have been proud to stand upon the stage as his assistant.
Thank you, Uncle Valent. You know, I'm happy you're doing the show. I think we get to see the great magnificent illusions again.
It really is looking forward to this. Though I'm not done with Emma yet. My guess is that I need to go back once I have proof that those paintings are important enough to be closely examined. Because what I'm thinking is that he painted over his sketches and painted something else. And I bet we can see what's underneath those new paintings. That's my best guess. That's just how it is whenever paintings appear. There's always something underneath. In any case. Oh, my mentor, the magnificent Grammaire, was a true deity among magicians. A creator god who gave birth to magic and illusions that defied our very imaginations.
I was so little when I last saw one, but I still remember the shows. He did wheelies in a sports car through the air above an audience. And then sped off to outer space faster than the speed of sound.
I'm guessing that memory was a bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Grammaire troop secret, it falls on me to provide one, baby. It is my God-given destiny. Yes, you, nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses. How can I help you? The world was waiting. Why did you hold off for 7 long years? It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard the magic known as law, which covers our land? I have, though I'm not sure it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnifi's miracle was impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more. 7 years? That phrase sure likes to pop up a lot, doesn't it?
And why was that?
A little matter called performance rights, Ms. Trucy. Right. Magic performance technically falls under copyright. It's weird. It is super duper weird, but technically, if a magician comes up with his own illusion and it's unique enough to be recognizable, then he technically has copyright protection for it. Of course, after a set amount of time, the protection will wear off and people can start copying the illusion. That's why so many magicians have the same tricks, like the separating box and all that. And this woman getting sawed in half. Those were done hundreds of years ago. In fact, I'm pretty sure all of Houdini's tricks are now public domain, so you can use them if you like. Hold on, say that again? You were muted.
But don't use Houdini's tricks to steal something, though.
Oh, about that. Magic and illusions. Magic and illusions can technically be used for criminal endeavors, but it's very risky. Because if you're known as this great magician who does this trick, and that trick is used to rob a jewelry store, let's just say that the police are going to be looking right at you. Then again, I've never actually heard of any tricks being used for criminal endeavors. I have heard of stage performers going on to do crime, though. Just look at the Power Rangers. Ow.
Wait, their performance eventually went to a life of crime?
Yep, one of the Power Rangers became a criminal. He uses training and stage practice from the show in order to perform robberies.
Oh, damn.
Alright, I'm meeting you again because of your birdie.
Can you tell us about these performance rights?
Magnifi's magic relied on an incredibly innovative idea. A trick, if you will. That trick was considered his property, and as such was protected by property laws. As Shackle said, copyright is a bitch. Even after the performer dies, it's protected. Intellectual property, maybe? Magnifi knew this and bequeathed it in his will to one person. You mean him? Yes, Miss Trucy. It was your father. Zach Gramarier was the inheritor of the Gramarier miracle.
Dad.
Yet, as you well know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where this story is going. Because Zach was named as the inheritor and then disappeared, the trick was just lost in copyright law. He couldn't use it no matter what. At least until the law changed or it was declared so. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they are considered legally deceased, correct? Oh my, you need to improve your impersonation of me, young Apollo.
Aw, I thought I was doing well.
In all absoluteness, those rolled-up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time of which you speak is 7 years. Yes, Miss Trucy, though it pains me to say it, this past spring, April to be precise, was time your father was legally declared deceased. In the absence of a formal will, the secrets of our mighty mentor Magnifi passed to me. This was, in fact, stipulated by the will by Magnifi himself.
Is that how it works, Apollo?
Yeah, it's called death in absentia. He's declared missing permanently.
Dad.
Uh-huh. You forget, this is Ace Attorney. The game where a crooked prosecutor can tase his opponent and that opponent's assistant and get away with it scot-free with no punishment. Because remember, Von Karma tased us and then didn't get in trouble for tasing us. He got in trouble for murder. He didn't get in trouble for tasing us. Ah, yes, and Francisca using her whip blatantly in courts. Ugh. Hold on, I need a drink. Maybe he knows something. Alright. Well, I know I'm not finished with Emma yet. Mostly because Moss said so, but... Emma, I was wondering if you could take a look at this. Look, I'm a detective. Detective, you can't just ask me any old thing and expect an answer, okay? I think you could be a little more focused in your inquiries, scientific even. Okay. She probably does. She says she needs a good reason for us to have a look at the unfinished painting. So, yeah. I get what's supposed to happen, but... Oh, wait. I know. Hold on. To the Coliseum. So, a journalist was here on a story? All eyes on the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper.
His name was Brushel.
Brushel.
I think he remembers him.
He doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel, that cloying smell of mint when he smiles. Yes.
Could you tell us more about him? What did he want?
A man by that name called on me just now. Just now? Valent's vision is always toward tomorrow. Valent's feet step always forward. That is all.
That's all? Very confusing.
I'm to perform a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to cover it. Yet he had ears only for that incident.
That incident?
In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. The painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Grammarieri.
Uncle Valent, do you know where the reporter went?
I recommended he visit that place popular with the penalized perpetrators.
The detention center?
He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear about my respectability. I will tear apart him.
Oh, here it comes, Apollo. Uncle Valent's big magic trick.
You gonna fix the card? I'm sure that qualifies as big magic.
What happened to the big magic?
It is not more miraculous for it to stay ripped. You must have really not liked that journalist. Look, if he rips up a business card and then puts it back together again without glue, that man is magic. Anyways, we know where we need to go. The detention center. He should be around here. Ah, you're here to see Vera Masham. Yes, that's right. She's in the medical office at the moment.
Medical office? Is she okay?
She's just lying down. Said she didn't feel so well. I'm sorry, but I can't allow any meetings at the moment. Most annoying client ever.
Oh, I don't know about that. Guess we should come back.
What do you mean, no? Where is he? Ah.
Maybe you know about this? I was wondering if you could tell me about this.
Aha! Why, that bears a Grammarier seal!
Uncle Valent, is something wrong?
Trucy, where did you get this?
Huh? Dad gave it to me.
Your father. My partner, Jack.
No, my other father, Phoenix.
Why now? Why would your Lord Father? Lord Father? That's kind of stretching the whole archaic thing a bit. This signature upon the back, do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zach Ramarier.
What?
Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that.
What is in this envelope?
Now, the time has come when I must return to make my prestigious preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy.
Thanks, Uncle.
3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after?
And why did Valent really act like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit.
That's Zach's signature. Ah, looky here, handwritten signature. It says... I can't read it. A doctor must have written it.
That seems odd to me. I mean, isn't a signature intended to show ownership? What's the use if no one can read it?
Isn't it enough if you can read your own?
Oh! I never thought of it that way.
For those of you wondering why I said a doctor must have written it, that's an old joke, because you can never read a doctor's signature on your prescription. You never can, ever. All right. To the detention center! October 7th, detention center, visitors room. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. No, not at all. Looks like somebody's already meeting here.
Maybe that reporter?
Oh my god, I hate him already. Hey there, how you doing? Who might you be? Sorry. We didn't know someone was already here. I hate how he twitches. I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You're Justice. You know me. Do I know you? Of course I know you. Stares down witnesses on the stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing?
Are you a reporter by any chance?
You're Trucy.
You're famous?
Oh yeah. Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy.
Interview?
So, guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need? No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him.
Hey, wait, did you come here to interview the guard?
Ooh-wee, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk. Had to interview someone or go plumb crazy. And
What?
I should have guessed. I want to smack him so badly. Log him? You got it! Wait, I have a better idea. Where are my manners? The name's Brushel. Spark Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes his eyes, writes, and
What's the nauseating strong mint smell every time he grins?
till you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through crossroads of mayhem, madness, end quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. I cannot wait to tear this man apart on the witness stand.
So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist?
Me, look, let me state one thing for the record here.
Yes?
I'm the interviewer, you understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here. And,
Okay.
for instance, you think a movie director watches movies?
Well, I think he probably does.
Exactly. I knew you'd understand.
So, the night of the murder, you were at your studio?
Who, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record.
Yeah?
I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy, real busy, always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back. End quote.
I understand that philosophy, but
Want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport.
fair enough. But don't they give normal tickets anyway, too?
Exactly. See, it's the same thing.
What is? So, you went to do a story on Drew Masham, and he'd never had a story done about him before?
That's right. Look, let me say one thing for the record here.
What?
I'm sure you're gonna want to know about my source. What tipped me off with Drew? Why did the interview in the first place?
Well, yes.
Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it. Say there's this burger joint with fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's gonna tell me where he got it?
At the supermarket, maybe?
Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really.
Walls have ears.
Eyes, especially glass walls with speakers, end quote. Right. I guess we'll leave then. But since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, for the heck of it.
Sure, tell us, just for the heck of it.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup, when an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery, end quote. I believe it was.
An oil painting?
Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. Painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Someone stole an oil painting of a giant peach? Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers.
Would it happen to have been this painting?
Right. Let me go down on the record here.
Yeah?
What you're gonna say, Herschel, take this, write brilliant column. I don't think so. But I write brilliant columns about one thing. That's food. Try to understand.
What could he possibly be writing?
Listen to a word I said. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna move. Back to Drew's studio. October 7th, Drew's studio.
Well, how'd it go? Find anything out?
Actually, there's one thing I wanted to check with you.
What's with that scary face you're making?
And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got going on, Emma? Emma, about this painting.
Oh, that? Quite good, isn't it?
That's not what I wanted to ask you about.
I want to examine it. Is that it? I'd be happy to let you if you had a good reason. About that, sorry.
This painting came from behind that dresser.
Yes, so?
It was stolen, no?
I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out.
You think you could tell us a bit about this?
I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Masham was a forger. A forger? So, what exactly is a forger? Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Exact copies. So precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real deal. It's a crime, of course. So, Drew Masham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work of illustration, I guess.
I see.
Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place.
What do you mean?
When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. But the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. Like doing a magic trick in front of a mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of a forgery. Not necessarily, anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all. Oh yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces.
I get it now.
Not that I really needed to go to such lengths, seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, it'd be neat to see what Mr. Masham's rough sketches were. Kind of like what he was drawing when he was looking, thought no one was looking.
True. That would be interesting. Maybe valuable for the case.
You try buttering her up, Apollo.
Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Alright, now we can get down to the business of things. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch underneath this painting. And I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick.
Oh, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out!
I'm most curious about this one. Yo, what the what? Starting to come into focus. Wait a damn minute.
Okay, let's print this out now.
What? What the heck?
Wow, he really blows! The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of the charcoal between the paint and the canvas. You could tell there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like.
Ah, I think I get you. So, in essence, it wouldn't matter what it was underneath the finished painting.
Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely, and do a completely new painting on top of that. So, Mr. Masham was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that?
Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of off.
You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo.
You think we could check out one of the other paintings?
Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you?
Shh, don't say that to her. We still need her help, so shush. Now let's see what this is.
Okay, let's print this one out.
It is a noodle stand. This one too.
What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden.
You think I could just look at the last one of these?
Fine by me. Knock yourself out.
I swear to God, if this one's of a poker game, we got a problem. That's exactly what it is. I can see the cards.
Okay, let's print this one out.
These have been our past 3 cases. What the hell is this?
I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation?
Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you notice anything? A poker game, a noodle stand, and a man on a tower playing a guitar.
There! Now you're both as white as sheets. What's going on?
These sketches are of our 3 cases.
What?
The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then the events that transpired during the Gavineers concert.
What could it mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why?
That's what I want to know.
Wait, it's Drew Masham. Is he your father?
Give me a break! Does that seem even remotely possible to you? I'd never even heard of any Drew Masham before. I hadn't even seen a picture of him. There were my cases, drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Masham? And what did he have to do with me? What the hell is going on? We're not even 2 hours into this case, and I'm already lost. I am definitely gonna need Moss's help for this. All right. I'm gonna take a little break to go and I don't fucking know. Realign all my brain cells? Because I think that just knocked them out of me for a minute. So I'll be back, everybody. Go grab yourselves a snack. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to go and find my last bottle of wake-up juice because I can't stay awake through this shit. What the hell? How does he know us? October 8th, 9:48 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6. Good morning.
So you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. Not right, right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please. Good morning.
She speaks!
Not bad, not bad. I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know?
Brucey, let's take it easy for starters.
Thank you for taking my case.
I get it. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a start, I guess. Oi! Apollo! Bad! I have to keep this button on standby, aren't I?
She goes with a nail polish again. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Want to try? Oh, really?
Girls. I'm not gonna bonk him for that one. Because girls are one of life's greatest mysteries. However, I know the secrets behind why they have so many shoes. I will not spread this secret, but I know it. Anyways, let's continue on. The victim, Drew Masham, was a forger. And a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of crime, really. Maybe one that led to his death. October 8th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Ah, hello, Clavier.
Well, we will now begin the trial of Michelle.
Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking around all nervous like...
The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time. It may indeed, after all, alter our legal system forever.
Today is a test of the jury system, yeah. It's the first step towards a new order in our courts.
Daddy's secret mission.
The jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to do better reflect on the people's. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? Ah, 3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists! Judge Well and Judge Cool.
Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that.
Ah, my apologies, Herr Judge.
Jurists, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you'll be so kind.
Jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have.
Very well. Prosecutor Gavin, the details of the case, if you would.
The victim is the painter Drew Masham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant Vera Masham.
Objection!
There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Ah, someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself.
Mug? Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see.
The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death.
Court accepts this as evidence. According to this report,
Hold on, let me beat you to it, Judgy. Between 9 and 9:30, cause of death, atroquinine poisoning.
the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning.
A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Its dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body is a touch of the Reaper's sight.
Very well. Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness.
I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. A journalist, no doubt. The witness will state his name and occupation.
Ah, right. Well, for starters, my name's Spark Rochelle. My job is a lone observer of the world.
In other words, a freelance journalist, correct?
Ahem, if you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record.
Yes, Mr. Brussel.
It's like conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping to them. Perceptions make park sandbox an endless desert waste. End quote.
If you can't tell, I'm trying to keep my teeth smiling all the time to try and do this guy's character justice. It's starting to hurt a little. But you were a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday.
Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today as a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. I scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel. End quote.
Let's hear your testimony then, shall we?
A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Yeah! Oh god, if I had sunglasses, I could put them on right now. It's the CSI Miami meme. Say that again, you were muted.
What?
You don't get the meme I was referencing?
Yeah, I've never heard of that meme.
It's basically the whole thing with the CSI Miami TV show. Whenever the intro is about to play, the main dude puts on his glasses and says some one-liner. And then it just goes straight into the intro song. Just look it up, you'll see it. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. You know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room beside her the whole time.
That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him.
What are you saying, Judge?
Ahem. Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. They need to be a bit dramatic.
You didn't do it, did you? Me do anything like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations, rock courtroom, end quote. Lock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun.
I'm so happy for him.
Very well. Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please.
I have a question.
Hold it!
How long between the time served? Is this about the star falling?
Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money. Over. Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. Star falls, get it? There's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
Doesn't matter.
Oh boy, this is good stuff. Good stuff. Now it's star breaks. Nah, that's punch. I know. Star dies. Nah, that's imagination.
Of course you could go with Drew dies straight to the point. I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. About when Mr. Machan passed away.
Ooh, boy, what a scene that was. He put his coffee mug down with a crash, right?
Yes, and then?
Then the cold finger of death touches his spine. Lights, flame sputters, and falls. So cold was that touch he could not but tremble uncontrollably.
Actually, this flame is a little tired.
His river froze over? Yes, that'll do. I think he's starting his article already.
Could you describe that a little more simply?
Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Our Caesar's final performance. End quote.
Atropine paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arches backwards like a...
That's quite enough of that! Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I want details. Lots of juicy details. Well, that you can listen to last year's hit single, At Your Quinine, My Love by the Gaviniers. Available at all major music outlets.
The point here is that the victim died of quinine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony?
Well, as an account of the moment of the victim's death, I'd say it's very important. Please add it to the testimony.
Very well. The court requests the witness to add this account to his testimony.
You say it was definitely death by poison. How can you be so sure? Hey, look, I'm a journalist. I've seen a lot of things. And I've had more than my share of experiences with so-called poisonings. Man eats fishy fish and goes bye-bye. End quote. Food poisoning doesn't count. I can talk about something else. So, you drank the coffee that Vera served you too. Of course, when someone serves you coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never did get what he meant by that. But you're still alive, which is to say you didn't die. Of course not! No point falling before you're a star. End quote. That's not exactly what I was getting at. What were you getting at then? You know the poison was on the rim, not in the coffee. Oh yes, yes! There were 2 cups on the tray she bought. And one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side. Chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess.
Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important?
The Brushel drank the coffee, too. Like this isn't gonna lead to much.
Very well. Please continue with the testimony.
Hold it! You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee? Of course! He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. Whether a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. Yet? I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Now puts his lips to mug, drinks, end quote.
Poison is quite virulent, I hear.
His stomach did a so-called somersault. And cycled down the same coffee without so much as a second glance. Wait, maybe something's in there. Some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record?
Well, Mr. Justice, found that testimony valuable.
Nah. Okay, what I'm trying to do... What I'm trying to do is figure out how to make the point of him, like... You know what? Hold on. Hold it! Would you mind being a little more specific? Ooh-wee, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in the 3rd grade. No, 4th grade. That's not what I meant! I believe I know what her forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it? Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really. Well, now, if you've got a question to ask, you best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all my new recruits. Several times if necessary. Like for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only write grade school level stuff, mind you. Back to the topic! Who touched the coffee?
Back to the topic,
No.
you idiot. For fuck's sake.
I was in the back, looking at a studio's equipment when she served it. And what happened next? Hold it! Can you say that for sure? For Sure, I'm sure. Drew's studio isn't a big place, kiddo. I know it if someone else had come in. But if they had been hiding in there from the before. Even if someone had been hiding in the studio, they hardly could have poisoned that mug without anyone noticing. You think I, Smart Marshall, would miss something as obvious as that? No way!
That sounds like a lie, to be honest, coming from...
He sure it could sound exciting. I guess that's his job.
Only one moment we need to focus on, really.
The moment was Drew Masham died?
Exactly. Must be something there. What am I not getting?
My question here is, how does he know it was because of poison and that...
It's because of the spasms.
Hold it!
The victim drank his coffee and then immediately fell. This is what I was going for! God damn it!
How did he skip over this part?
No, what happened was that he didn't say exactly what I wanted him to say, which is what Apollo is saying.
Ah.
So I wasn't actually sure what the hell was going on.
Okay, that's fair.
The victim drank his coffee and then immediately fell over? Oh, yes, you can go to the press with that one. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add to the testimony.
Very well. The witness will add this to his testimony.
Vital, right. He had one sip, if that. The next moment, he was on the floor.
Objection!
Oh, come on! I must be on the wrong track. Where is it? Is it the coffee cup? Please be the coffee cup.
Objection!
Thank you. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. Atroquinine.
Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile.
Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There's a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information.
An omission.
Atroquinine is as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroquinine is a slow-acting poison.
Slow-acting?
What? According to our forensic scientists, it's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for the adverse effects to show. If we suppose that the moment of Mr. Masham sipped the coffee cup was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time to enjoy his last cup of coffee.
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, What? That contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard!
Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record? Slow acting. Slow act. It was Vera, right? Even then, it had already begun digging its claws into the journalist. He's working on his scoop.
Objection!
It's Brushel, yeah? Herr Brushel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? Did the victim really died the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was not so subliminal suggestion, end quote. I admit it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I'd be forced to say auf Wiedersehen to my simple case. You would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as long as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to face your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop. Look, wait, just wait a second. Just 1 second.
We're waiting! Out with it!
I think I just recalled an so-called important detail. A revival recollection, end quote. Attorney utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I heard of poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently.
Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened?
You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say. Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. What?
Order! What?
As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony. That Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony. My dream of exclusive rights to this story. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him. Him. Phoenix White. Who else? Toon, Herr Brushel. Report for us if you would. What is it that you noticed?
This court is a critical trial to the justice system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.
When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, I think he was writing a suicide note. Say that again?
Is he now assuming that Misham was writing a suicide note?
Yep, that's exactly what he's saying.
A suicide note.
Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote. Suicide? Poor Mr. Misham. But that means Vera's innocent. Did someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination.
Hold it!
Which desk? There are tons of them. Well, his daughter Vera, of course. Was anyone besides Mr. Misham and Vera present? Not a single one. Not a cat, not a rat, not even a mouse. The only person who didn't belong in that studio there was you, isn't it, Mr. Brushel? Now, I know what you're doing. I know your game. Trying to use this classic Ramstein phenomenon ploy, end quote. If you intend to suggest that this reporter is a suspect, I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting that assertion, correct? In the meantime, let's move along, shall we?
Hold it!
So he put the letter away when he saw you? Early reporter gets wormed. That's my secret. Now Not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrive 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, door opens, and I barge in. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really? Mr. Misham sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter right into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one. It also seems significant. Well, Mr. Justice, I wonder... It does have the ring of something important. The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor.
Very well. Please add it to the testimony then.
Hey, why not? An account is free of charge. Are you sure it was yellow?
Objection!
As it just so happens... Hey, Reserve, we're on the final case of the game. Things are going well. How are you doing? As it just so happens, there was a strange letter in the desk drawer at the crime scene. In a red envelope. What? Prosecutor Gavin. Yeah? Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no. But go ahead. It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope. I guess. But not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already. 7 years ago.
Well, Mr. Bushel,
I can explain that. True, right? You wanted to get that letter in an envelope. Pronto! Get it out of sight in my beady eyes, right? So you grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed it away. What about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump?
well, Mr. Justice, the only thing to say to the witness's claim.
That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. It's entirely possible. But Apollo, we checked the contents of the envelope yesterday, didn't we? You're right. Yeah, the answer was clear about As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist. But note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. Oh? Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped.
Order! 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 Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court?
Oh, my. How could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots.
I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel.
Oh, that's the thing. See, after he put that letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote.
A stamp? Whatever for?
Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in the letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope. And then he put it in that box.
Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do with the case.
Oh, how I wish it did. Just think if it were a suicide note. What a story! All right, suicide note in front of a reporter. Falls. End quote.
Aha! As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That's it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. Good that you're doing good, Reserve. Yes, Your Honor.
It makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope.
Agreed.
This is what we were able to uncover, Your Honor.
$100,000 is quite a good deal of money.
So this was from 7 years ago, yeah? So, am I finished here, I mean? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing. The audacity of this bitch! Hold on. I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, rather unique face. Come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else. End quote.
Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. You know, I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about.
It's just an act of imagination, end quote.
Agreed on Apollo there.
Ah, okay. Gotcha, Reserve. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you've been lurking.
Shut up, you. Not to you, but the bird.
Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story.
Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here, usually. Put that damn toothbrush away before I shove it in your eye! Ah, I hate this guy. I hate this guy. Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leverages story, gets his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. A case 7 years ago?
So you threatened to go to the press with the story. That's how you got your interview. Blackmail.
Well, yes. I mean, no! No. It wasn't exactly black. I mean, I'm not,
Something wrong, Mr. Bushel.
Look, this is my story. My tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood.
I see.
Well, you have me chatting here, waiting here. What's going on out there? There's some Wally Wadsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story. You could be going to the press while I'm going to waste.
The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the pace.
A certain case 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago. There's no fucking way it's the same case. Yeah, saying something like this in court will get you arrested.
What will get you arrested?
What he's doing.
And that is?
Hold on. Apparently, the case I'm thinking about is the case that cost Phoenix his license. There's no way in hell it's the same one, right?
No, you're right. You might be wrong. Who knows? I ain't gonna see a bit.
Oh, you're saying if I said... Okay. Yeah, if someone threatened to stab someone in front of a judge, you'd be in a cell in like 10 minutes. Where the hell is the tell? His ears? His perceive is weird. You can't wait for me to see it. Can you give me a hint if am I on the right phrase?
With me or Moss?
Moss, he's in chat right now. And good night, Birdie. I have no idea how Phoenix lost his license. I always assumed it was because he was always helping Dante in demon fights. Okay, his tell isn't his face. Got it. But yeah, as far as we're aware, Phoenix apparently forged evidence? Somehow? I'm not sure. All I know is that 7 years ago, Phoenix Wright got disbarred from court. Oh my god. Let's try a different phrase. You can't defend a man who pays his rent by pawning his sword, demon swords to shady Italians. Lol.
Hold it!
A certain case. 7 years ago? Tell us, what case? Let me state one thing, Mr. Attorney, and you can quote me on this. I can't talk about that case. Why not? It's about journalistic pride and staunchness, and credibility, and connections. Journalist reveals sources only over his dead body. End quote. So what'll it be? Gonna strangle me? Dead men don't tell tales, Mr. Attorney. He sounds pretty determined not to talk. Our chances of breaking his will aren't looking good. It also explains why he starts the game with every game with the same weapons and never the one he never keep. Ha! In the chat right now. Hold on. Oh, wrong button. God damn it. Just read it. Yeah. Phoenix is the Frank West School of Career Loss. Just how amazing was Mr. Masham's talent? Huh? Ooh, boy, I mean, hey, he's a star, man, a star! The flow of his brush is like a great undulating river across the canvas. Artist paints light up the studio like the sun, end quote. Guy's full of wacky gestures. He's not as wackier than usual. That's kind of news to me, Apollo. Definitely. I'm sensing something different than before here. I just need to bring out the you-know-what. I just want you left a bad taste in my mouth. All makes sense. It jumps out as ridiculous. I wonder what this story he's talking about is. Must have been good to get an interview with a famous recluse like that. Powerful enough to drag Drew Masham out of hiding. I wonder. Maybe it has something to do with Mr. Masham's art. So this is the right phrase, apparently, according to Moss. Please, give me a hint. Is it his pen? Is it an object or what? Oh, I'm not saying scumming. The game lets you retry if you don't see this. What you're supposed to see here. I don't think you can save scum in this game. Left side of his body. Is that my left? Oh, I see it. Motherfucker! That's where it is? Pay close attention to this spot. His pits are sweating.
Gotcha!
Oh my god. Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Yeah, well, I'm a man who can't help his glands, you know? It's more than I thought. It's more than that. When Mr. Masham's talent was mentioned, he suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent, aren't you? What? That's ridiculous! Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Masham's true talent lay. It just so happens I have evidence showing the talent mentioned in the letter.
Take that!
That's the correct painting, you mother... Fine, is it this one? This painting was found in Mr. Masham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first is that it wasn't painted by Drew Masham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making forgeries. Oh! Get off of my stand, you gross son of a... That is all, Your Honor. Everyone, please, everyone! Can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop.
What? That's a serious crime.
Drew Masham is known as an artist these days, but there were rumors he dabbled in another kind of art a few years back.
Another art, meaning forgery.
Drew Masham was a talented, alright. Talented at making precise, detailed fakes. Certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements? What? You can't seriously be talking about... Exactly. We're talking about forging evidence. The rumors started circulating 7 years ago.
7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for...
Exactly. Forged evidence nets tidy profit. End quote.
Order! 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 Why, it's like our victim was living a double life!
Ah, this is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
Attention!
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when being conducted our investigation. But how do you explain all this money? You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
Attention!
But there's no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was and remained simple from the beginning.
Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course. Hey. The only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews.
Mr. Brussel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen.
What are you talking about? My journalism is rock solid. Journalism's so solid you couldn't stand an elephant on it. End quote.
In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. We can ascertain the situation in that studio from this recap. The trial is over.
Apollo, what is he talking about?
The cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, and the killer had to be Vera, that's what. This next testimony is our last chance.
Mr. Brussel, your testimony, please.
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She's admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during the interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. A nice testimony. Clear, succinct, and without room for doubt. Aw, shucks. You really think so?
I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice. You may begin your final cross-examination.
Right. Still have one trump card left to play. I won't let this trial end until I use it. We know this. Yeah.
Hold it!
What about the letter? Not one thing. You're sure?
Yep, sure as can be. Well, with one exception.
One exception? What?
Journalist Spark Brushel does interview. Leave studio. Ah. Come on. It's a joke. Get it? Not funny, I know, but still. Did something leave the studio that night? Does that sound familiar? Have I heard something like that before?
Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night?
I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. Yeah, the guitar lawyer is still here. He's our main opponent. A certain something that has vanished from the crime scene.
By which you mean
Something,
other than our witness?
of course. Don't tell me. Vera Misham, believe me, any comic relief I may provide is entirely unintentional.
Then let's see what you've got for us, Mr. Justice.
Oh, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. Oh no, he's not the villain. If anything, he's been helping us this entire time. But I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene. The letterbox!
Take that!
This is the only link between that studio and the outside world.
A letterbox?
What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true. He's not bad at his job. He's amazing at his job. Furthermore, you went on to tell... Clavier is amazing at his job. Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in that letterbox.
Ah,
That very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope has disappeared.
Objection!
Why does he keep losing to us? Because he's working with us in order to find the truth of the matter. He's still trying to prove his clients... He's still trying to prove the defendant guilty. He's still trying to find the truth. And that's what's important to him. And that makes him a great attorney. Ah, yes. Intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from that scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing.
he has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Masham. Is it really important that this envelope the witness says he saw disappeared?
Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems quite important to me.
Very well then. The witness will add this to his testimony.
You got it. I still think this fails to change anything here, forehead. I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. This, I'm guessing?
Objection!
No, it doesn't. God damn it. I was hoping the tiny frame would do it.
Hold it!
You're sure about that? Well, to be really, really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time. One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Objection!
Yet, at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room, and no mint residue was found. It was a long shot anyway. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove it. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than the coffee?
Well, Mr. Justice, you got some proof.
Possibility is there. I can feel it. It's maybe not proven. Not yet. Possibility isn't going to cut it. Not now. I know what's going on, I think. Proof is possible. There goes nothing. You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, Herr Forehead, not possibilities. Of course. And Prosecutor Gavin, I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. Look, what did you say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter, I did.
Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume.
Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it.
A stamp.
As we all know, stamps come with dry glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you'd have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Objection!
No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age.
Objection!
Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all.
Objection!
Okay, so he licks the stamp. But wait, how does that explain the atroquinine on the rim of the coffee?
Objection!
If he licked the back of a poisoned stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth? Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around.
What?
The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Masham. Mr. Masham poisoned the coffee mug.
Order! 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 But that doesn't... Does it?
Recall, if you would. Atroquinine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison enters his body when he puts his stamp on the envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to that cup of joe.
You have something to add, Mr. Brushel?
Uh-oh. His nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier...
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Masham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. But, you know, I don't seem to remember him ever finding one.
Maybe he just run out.
Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps. Not a single one.
That does pose a problem. How do you prove that the stamp was coated with poison?
Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving a stamp he used was poison possible. Good shaw, good shaw. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place.
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say anyway. Where's your evidence that proves the existence of this poison stamp?
The only other thing in the crime scene that was poison.
Take that!
Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little.
It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection. So that. Ah, apparently you weren't observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important.
Missing something?
Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atroquinine residue.
But why wasn't I told about this?
The frame is the only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You are insane. Oh, but I am. Tell me, what could possibly fit such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps?
Order! 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 The poison stamp was inside this frame.
Impossible.
But Prosecutor Gavin,
Why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it in there so he could commit suicide if the mood struck.
You know, can I say something? I had thought, see?
what, Mr. Brushel? And please, stop jittering around like that.
The victim was a forger, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work.
Forger's friends makes enemies too, end quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon aimed at him.
Objection!
Oh, rich. That's rich. Leaves a ridiculous flight of fancy to the Gavinier song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon? Nonsense. Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Oh, I disagree. Come again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Through Masham, hid from the world, he avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail.
The mail.
Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew red letters, a stamp would be the perfect weapon.
Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon.
I might not have evidence per se. Things are finally starting to come together.
What is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling.
I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Masham was killed.
Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice.
A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Masham the stamp of death. Wait, was it this one? That one, I think.
Take that!
Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago?
Think about the text of the letter again. There were 2 pages in this envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor.
Ah. In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison on the stamp, lick, gasp, end quote.
Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter had asked?
He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox.
15 minutes would have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking. When that time came, he drew his last breath, and the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene.
Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system.
But that letter was sent 7 years ago. Such a splendid imagination you have, Herr Forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago. Yeah? Is that what you have us believe? Really? Well,
It is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility.
yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope. A stamp that then became a murder weapon. How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence?
Well,
That was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent the letter. So your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to... It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier. What the hell are you doing here? Emma! Jesus, you gave me a heart attack! Stupid game! Don't do that! Oh god, I saw Kristoph for a moment! Ah, Emma!
well, like my Kristoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like him?
Do not quit your day job. Yeah, that was his brother. The man who's supposed to be very much in prison right now. Ugh. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fraulein Detective?
Someone has to come dig you all out of this mess you're making in this case.
Mess?
You know, none of this would have happened if you just trusted my science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy.
Care to explain yourself, Fraulein?
Blare me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right?
That's right! The poison detection spray!
Produce the red envelope at once! You can open it on the authority of the court.
Right there!
Well, would you look at that?
No mistaking it. That's etraquinine residue.
I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Objection!
Absolutely outrageous! Tell me why? Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? Well,
There's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Machan figured it out.
Figured what out?
He realized that the person who sent the letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp.
And put his decisive evidence in a frame. Ah, you're still here.
Can I make a statement here on the record? I, Spark Razor Toothbrush'll claim this scoop is mine. Drew Machan killed in cold blood. I sent her a 7-year-old's letter. End quote. No, maybe something more consistent. All Starfalls after 7-year delay, end quote?
Judge! Get him out of here!
Order! Order! I see no room for further arguments here, though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached its mouth after 7 years. Stamp his ticket straight to afterlife. End quote.
Uh-oh. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge.
I see.
What's up? It's a good thing that you're muted.
I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant.
Pardon?
I think we just won.
Very well. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Clavier! Is this the bright future of our legal system?
Prosecutor Gavin.
A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. I'm not at liberty to say, Reserve. Sorry. Tickets for Gavinier's shows are invalid after 2 weeks.
But it doesn't make sense any other way.
It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Half-Forward's claim. A contradiction in our claim? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Masham have done what he did? Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poison. Therein lies the rub. Right. 7 years ago, the forger, Drew Masham, sets a trap and puts the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this. But this begs the question, why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Masham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? You expect us to believe that he sprang this trap on himself?
While I admit this is all quite shocking myself, it does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years.
Apollo? I don't think we're winning anymore. Ah, I'm glad to see we're all back on the real one. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you. Okay, and how do you explain the poison stamp that was in the envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proofs that such a thing ever existed.
Objection!
We have the residue. What about the atroquinine residue, huh? Oh, I agree. That does seem to be atroquinine residue. But, here, forehead. It's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Masham would have never used it. That is all.
I believe we've come to a conclusion. Again.
Apollo, we were wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence.
I'd like to bring some closure to this issue. Sometime this year. Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Masham received a red envelope. There were traces of poison atroquinine on that document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene on this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with a poison stamp on it.
Yeah, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, Drew Masham, knowing this, put it in a frame. He never would have used that stamp.
I'm afraid you are right, which means there's a fatal flaw in the defense's case.
I've been on the wrong track this whole time. I'm sure of it. The traces of atroquinine, the envelope, the frame, and Drew Masham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow.
Well, Mr. Justice, you have a conclusion for us.
The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of this evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. Ah, a fake clue. Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your vile fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than... what exactly? Yeah, I'm gonna make a save here. It can't be the frame. Is it Drew? There's no way it's Drew.
I'm gonna say the envelope.
The shred envelope is a fake?
Without a doubt, Your Honor.
Objection!
Wasn't it you who presented this evidence to the court? Oh. Hold on a second, Apollo. The poison on that envelope, the frame, and the coffee mug, they're all connected somehow.
Oh, right. I can hear it already. Looks like the fake was you, Hair Forehead.
Now's not the time for wallowing in self-pity. Let's get thinking.
The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other. The one thing that connects them all is Drew.
The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Objection!
Congratulations! You've completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of fake himself, the forger? It makes a good story, I'll give you that. Fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah!
I know that face. That's the I just had an idea face.
I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again. 7 years ago, our forger sniffed a trap and stepped aside. 7 years have passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why?
That's what I want to know.
Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake? One forger smelled the trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers, and one of them was a fake. A body double? That's what you're suggesting.
Order! Order! Order!
So you are telling us that the Drumasham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo.
But you're going to have to back up your story, Mr. Justice. Show us who real Drew Masham was.
Hold on. What's up? Alright. If Drew Masham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Masham was himself a forgery. The real forger was... There's only one person it could have been. Vera.
Take that!
Don't think too much to put a blanket over the bird's cage, you know, he's a friend.
There can be only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger, known as Drew Masham, is none other than his only daughter, Vera Masham.
Order! Order! Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb even for you!
I kind of agree. I mean, Vera, a forger?
Just consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger.
Well, actually, that does make certain kind of sense.
One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Masham's and Vera Masham's. If we know that Drew Masham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility. By process of elimination, the forger was Vera Masham. Well... Fascinating! Vera.
Vera Masham. You've been paying attention to the trial so far.
Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger? Drew Masham. Was that an expression of emotion I saw in her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Fräuleins, believe me. Though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art?
Yes.
Booyah! So, So the forger, Drew Masham, was you!
Yes, it was me.
What? What?
The court was in an uproar, and it wasn't coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. As someone once said, curiouser and curiouser. What the fuck? Okay, I'm good to go for another hour just to see where this goes. Oh, but before I do, I need to go take care of one thing. I'll be back in like a minute, so BRB. And I'm back. Yes, next chapter. Let's go, 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 go.
October 8th, 1:42 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 6.
Okay. So where exactly does this leave us, Apollo?
Well, the Drew Masham who was killed wasn't Drew Masham the forger, basically.
Huh? Well, then who was he?
Well, he was actually doing her nails. So you really made those forgeries.
Yes. Her father.
I know.
I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, Father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries. How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything.
Anything?
Father was so proud, and I was so happy. But in the end, I was making those.
Forgeries.
I've never had a good constitution, nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, Father is... You know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already you were already creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
When she was fucking 12?
So 7 years ago, you say?
Again,
Aw.
that date comes up. 7 years this, 7 years that. What the hell is going on 7 years ago?
And why won't anybody tell us? So the one who figured it out, the stamp was poison. That was...
Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please.
Right. Out of time.
Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right, see, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings.
That's another question I've got.
I see. Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Your late father?
He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright & Co. law offices. But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who was Mr. Masham?
How am I supposed to know?
What if he was Daddy's father?
Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely.
Agreed.
Things are already confusing enough with all these fathers running around. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was the forger. What does this mean for the case? I guess we're about to find out.
October 8th, 1:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 3. Rabble, 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 rabble. Court is now back in session.
Vera seems pretty tense. Practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Michan forger persona? There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
What's hard?
Very well, Mish, if you would. To really make those detestable forgeries.
Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one.
Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So, she was the one who made the forgeries.
Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her.
I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I?
Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. You have seen this before, yeah?
Yes. It was in the desk drawer.
Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope.
Hey?
I created things, and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. It was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony.
As the witness realizes.
Very well, please begin the cross-examination.
Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Masham.
Why do you say it like that, since I more see it as Messam?
I say Masham because they are shams. Their works are a bunch of shams.
It's a word joke you're making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry, I was eating something.
Hold it!
So, these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Objection!
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery.
True. Please, tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
Right.
By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point?
Yes, but Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than painting.
For instance?
For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
You could fake fingerprints?
Huh?
That she could. What? Oh. How did you? Well, okay. With a very, very, very small brush and an incredibly steady hand and certain oils, technically, yes, it's possible. But, Jesus Christ!
Fucking hell.
You. And remember, she did all of this without computers. She did this all by hand. There wasn't a single computer back inside the studio. She could fake fingerprints by hand. Do you understand the concept of how difficult that is?
Yeah, not even the greatest forger that probably.
Take a look at your fingers right now and tell me if you can see the ridges on them. Exactly. No, you can't.
That really depends. It's just hard to see. Like on the lights, you can kind of see it, but not like the whole finger leaves the fucking mark in.
Yeah, now try and paint that.
Yeah.
Good luck. This makes her sound very innocent at all. Once the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drumasham.
A new industry?
The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh.
Bye-bye.
What do you mean you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. At your queen. A moment, Herr boy. That was an answer upon a witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fräulein Bell, why did you receive the stamp?
There's something wrong.
It was beautiful.
Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was.
So, she just found it really pretty and stuck it inside the thing? She had no idea about the poison? It was just sheer dumb luck? So, you didn't know about the poison? I guess not. So it was a trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to this commemorative stamp.
God damn, on the civic owners.
Quite the close call.
Hey, she's alive because of it.
Yeah.
So calm down there, Doom.
No, I said Honda Civic owners. Some guy in a Civic just passed by with a gun.
I didn't even hear it.
Loud as hell exhaust.
I didn't even hear it.
It was
Yeah,
after
because
that.
I was quick enough to mute myself.
It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Masham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large.
We had to meet someone for some reason. Father posed as the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Masham. He was protecting her the whole time.
Yep.
You did the work and he supplied the face.
So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in.
Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp.
Could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty, and more than that,
Yes.
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
This is something new.
This is a new indeed. Okay.
Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fräulein. No! No fucking way!
She's probably all about Grimoire.
Are you going to tell me it's the Gramarriers? Oh,
Grimoire.
you can't be fucking serious. The Gramarriers are back in everything again? What is going on?
Stop for
Everything-
7 years. Game's about 7
Everything's
years
tying
ago.
back together again.
Hold it!
Magicians?
I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat,
You're confusing mysterious with freaky.
Mother took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? See? Isn't magic great?
Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited.
The magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. It was quite sad.
Did she just say what I think she just said? Magic troupe? Now, where have I heard that before? Red envelope came after she completed her first job. And it was a letter from her client. Her wanted a forgery made.
Oh,
Or close. You just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Rumasham's life.
Hold it!
Oh, great, wrong button. That's the wrong button I just pressed.
You meant to press.
I meant to press present. Now the question is, what do I present here?
40%.
Was it the ticket? I'm gonna go with the ticket.
Objection!
Those magicians you like. Was it this bunch?
Und wir haben korrekt.
Apollo? They're not a bunch.
I see. Still, I have to wonder, why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter?
Good question.
Well, pretty stamps are always better. You can't beat Troupe Gramarrier.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin?
Gavin.
Gramarrier? What's with Gavin?
Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was others in a painting. Please, tell me, what exactly did you make? Can I ask why?
No! Answer the question! Now! Gavin, what the hell? I've never seen him like this.
Prosecutor Gavin, you're usually not the one whose volume concerns me.
He never got like this even when his partner in the band was on trial. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize, but I must know. Please, Miss Micham, tell me.
It was a book. A single page in a book.
A book? Please, be more specific.
It was a handwritten book, like a diary.
Gavin? No! No! I don't... Clavier? Explain yourself. Give me the details.
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no?
How did you know?
Objection!
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop badgering her! He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing! Sullied who? Phoenix Wright. Who else?
That?
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago. About how he came to lose his attorney's badge. Are we finally getting answers? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat. What?
Quite a shotgun, no?
Phoenix Wright, tossed out of the profession by false evidence, and the forger who made that evidence is Vera? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence that you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Masham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it?
We will have order.
Brain hurts. What the fuck? Does not logic.
Is it quite so big to take in all at once, yeah?
We only met once.
You met the client? Well, who was it?
It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, but is that something about me?
I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary.
Who was it? Uh-oh. Vera? Oh, shit, she dead!
Scheiße.
The devil.
Bomb.
Hey, yo, call the medics. Oh, shit, everybody's gone. Defendant Vera Masham, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute atroquinine poisoning.
Uh-oh.
This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Masham.
Huh. That's the end of this trial, then.
Not yet.
Okay, not fully, yes, of course.
Did you really think that Ace Attorney would end on this? Please.
Oh, no, I ain't that stupid.
But Vera Masham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go. To find the whole truth.
Are you ready for the next part, or are you stepping in here, friend?
You know, today is a very special friend of mine's birthday. And we can always continue this tomorrow. As the final part. So, I'm gonna call things here. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for the finale of this game. And also be sure to make an impact in someone's life today. Make it a great one. I'll catch you guys next time. Because this game is already giving me a headache with how crazy the logic is going.
See you guys tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. Holy hell.